Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to episode 110 of a Naughty Mess Knitting Podcast. All right, we've got some fun stuff to talk about today. I will do an intro first. Hi, my name is Megan. For anyone who's new here on my little corner of the internet, this is just a video, diary, podcast, whatever we want to call it, of my knitting and fiber related journey. I am a knitter, crocheter, I spin yarn, and on Sundays I cross stitch. I live in the Pacific Northwest, just north of Seattle, with my husband Mike, our daughter Theo, our dog Winter, and my mom Cindy. This week we have normal things. I'll cover what I'm wearing, which is not new, but I finished this spring and we can talk about like me wearing it and all that kind of stuff. I've got some spin updates. I've got a finished object. I don't think I have a new cast on? Question mark? I'll look through. I'll figure it out while I'm going. And some updates, lots of whip updates. So, and then books, always books. No acquisitions this week, but I'm going to do a really quick Dyer highlight for Hello Lavender's new collection. So let's go on. Today I am wearing the Flower Child, which is a knit tee by Wool and Pine. I wanted to wear this twofold. One, because I've only wore this the first week that I finished it, and well, that's fine, and I often have a new finished thing to wear, so I don't wear like recycle things a lot. I have been really loving wearing this one. I wear it a lot to work, like I would say probably at least once every other week, if you know, or so. I do wear it like this. I just have a bra on. I don't have anything underneath of it today. I often wear it like this because I feel that this is quite a lot of coverage, even with the lace. That, yeah, there's like a little bit of skin, but like it's not overly open, not like my Saltier. My Saltier has many more holes in it, so I feel pretty comfortable wearing it like this. I just don't feel like it's that holy. So there's a picture that was up of me like wearing it in the woods or whatever, because that's where I took pictures for this one. This one is a pattern by Abbye and Selena at Wool and Pine Designs. It's a circular yoke. It's got short rows in the back. It has like a picot edging just along the neck, not along anywhere else, so you could obviously add that if you wanted to swap in instead of ribbing, you could do that. This has just got short ribbed edges, and I made this in Denali sock from Explore Knits and Fibers in the Fantasy colorway, which was part of the Solstice collection last year. And I got this, we did a swap of our yarns, me and some friends. We all got the box, and we swap-a-rooed different colors and stuff. And so I think I had just 2 skeins of this, and I needed a little bit of extra because the original yardage estimate was not correct for the test. So I I used like 20 grams or something from Sylvan. She is the yarny godmother for so many things, including for something like this, where she just gifted me a little bit and then I gave her just back the rest of the skein so she could have it. I love this color. I really like how this one fits. I think for a circular yoke, this one to me is like the neckline is really flattering. I just overall like really love wearing it. Feel like it just feels to me like a little bit more fancy, but also like wearable for work, right? Like I have a couple of tops where I call like my date night tops where I don't really feel like I can wear them for work, or they're a little bit fussier to find outfits for. This one I love. Okay, so I do oh, should I go through sizing? Let me do that really fast so you guys know what this is. I'm not going to go through like original sizing. You can look on Ravelry for any of that information because this was a test, so I have all the information. But this was a 46-inch bust, size 5. Recommended ease is 2 to 6 inches. For me, that's about 1 inch. And I did that on purpose. I knew that I wanted something a little bit closer fitting. And I used 3.25 millimeter needles for the body, 3 millimeters for the ribbing. That's all you have to know. The other reason I want to wear this is they just made a cardigan of this, and the cardigan is very cute. I don't think I'll make it. I have a lot of cardigans on my wish list, and I don't think I'll make it, but I do really enjoy it. They actually have a new one that's in testing that you wouldn't know about unless you're on their Discord. And once that one releases, that's going like to the top of my next year list. It's so cute. Okay. Oh, let's go on to my finished object for the week. I only have one. And actually, you might be surprised. It is my socks. I whipped through these. 11 days. I actually did finish them this morning. I just had to do the sew and bind off on, I had like cut them and the needle I wanted was not where I was last night and it was late and I just cut them and left them on the needles and now they are done. I did not make them particularly tall. This is for my sister-in-law. I feel like these look really itty bitty. Just they're smaller than my shoe size. She wears a size 7, so that makes sense. I wear like a 9.5, so I need longer socks. But these measurement wise, I did a 64 stitch sock. I used the basic sock pattern from Rainio Grabska, who is Comfort Zone Knits on Ravelry. It is a free pattern. It's the second time I've used it this year. It's both toe up and cuff down, the free versions. And she's got a couple of different, like you could do small stripes, you can do all one color, you could do contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. I did that version with a self-striping yarn. I like the way her, for self-striping yarn, I like the way that her heel cup is. It feels a little bit wider than some other toe up or cuff down ones. And so I feel like when you're wearing the sock, that doesn't, sometimes I feel like this part like cinches in a lot. So it just like makes the stripe look a little bit weird. And I think this makes the stripe look really like nice and solid. Anyway, I, did a couple of strange things here. One is my row gauge was pretty tight on this. My stitch gauge is good for sizing, but I started the gusset last week where I should have measurement wise, but it was shorter than I needed it to be once it was done. So I actually added 6 more rows and did 3 increases. So I didn't have just some weird plain knitting at the top. And then I just did a couple extra decreases out once I got to the heel flap, which was fine. Totally fine. Maybe it makes it like, I think this will actually fit pretty well on her. Anyway, yes, so this is for my sister-in-law. This is the last adult sock for Mike's family. And then I have my mom's, what I'm going to do next month. I wanted to get these done early though, because I have another Motion friend that I would like to cast on. So I'm going to cast that on this weekend, tomorrow, sometime when you start at the head for these. I am doing the orangutan. So I need a time to concentrate on doing all these short rows for the head. So, yeah, completed women's sock. This is a size 2, the 64 stitch. Oh, and then her foot length is like 9 inches. So I made these, they ended up being from toe to heel, just under 8.25. I like to have a little negative ease also lengthwise. It's not as much negative ease widthwise on these. I just don't know how tight she wants her socks to be. That's a little bit preference thing. If you've never had wool socks like this, I think you just kind of learn a lot while you make your first few pairs for yourself. And when you're gifting them, you just hope that they will wear them. So here we are. I love this color. I think it was really fun. This one I didn't have a color name for. This is Bis sock. It's from Biscotti Yarns, which is a Quebec company. I got this on Discord or Ravelry. Maybe it was a Ravelry destash like a couple years ago. Right after I made like my first pair of self-striping socks, and I was like, wow, I really love this. Then I didn't make any for like a whole year. So it was good. I had everybody, for those of you who don't know, I'm making socks from Stash Socks, mostly for Mike's family this year. And I had everybody go through, like I pulled out like 20 single skeins, and I had everybody, they were over for something right around Christmas last year, and I had them all choose a skein, and then we went from there. So those are done. I need to get pictures even of last month's. I did not do that yet, so I'm gonna get pictures of those, pictures of last month's, get those loaded into Ravelry, and then I'm done with those for a little while, and I will go back to socks after I finish my next Motion friend. Let's do a quick visual update then of my crosshatch hacked. So quick reminder, this is a buddy knit with Emily from my knitting group, and also on here on YouTube as Gently Chaotic Knits, and Ariel. Ariel's done. If you watch her podcast like 2 weeks ago, she wore it or showed it on the podcast, and she did an infinity style because the yarn she used was not like a ton of yarn. She just used like a fingering and a DK, but held the fingering double. Anyway, Her colors are really fun. Emily and I have very similar colors. She's got like a charcoal and white, and I'm using more of a black and white for this graphic style pattern. Inspiration came from the crosshatch pattern from Jared Flood. No, I'm not following that pattern. My size is super different. Oh my gosh. Emily and I were both knitting on these during knit night this week, and she had hers like on her lap, and hers is got to be double the width of mine. Like, it's so big. It's very much more shawl like, but she's gonna be able to use it as like a blanket shawl and everything. Like, it's really magnificent. So nice. So I knit on this like twice this week, a little bit at knit night and a little bit during like one TV session with Mike. So it's just a little visual update of where I am. I am still going strong. I measured this at knit night though, and I was just under 30 inches, and then I did a couple more while we were there. So let's say I'm just over 30 inches. I want to get to around 80, which this is boding well. Like, I will, if this is 30 inches and I'm not done my black yarn yet, like I have not a significant amount, but I've got a good amount of that skein, and I have 5 skeins of black. I'm gonna get to 70 something inches at least. I'd like to get I mean, like with blocking, I would like to get like to 80 inches. I think that's my goal. So I'm going to keep going strong. Just pulling this out and working on it a couple nights every week. And it's now getting big enough that I have it in this cute little ladybug bag. And this is like the last week it'll fit in here, especially if I get a fuller skein of yarn to go with it. So I'm going to need to pull out a different project bag and throw this in one of my like sweater ones, because this is getting big. But yeah, I'm using 4mm needles. And just kind of going with my heart on this one. Maybe I could do one more week. I love this little bag. It's so cute. Okay, so let's move on to the next whip, which is my Kaarina tee. I have made pretty good progress on this week. I'm going to pick up sleeves maybe this weekend, next week. Next time I work on it. I think I have like a good half ball left of what I'm connected to right now. So it's looking so good. Oh my gosh, it really is. So I was here last week. I had already connected under the arm, like a little less than an inch or so. And then I added about 4 inches this week. So I'm getting length. I will say where it's fitting right now is like, I think I tried this on roughly where I am right now, and I am like not that far under bust. So, and this is actually kind of a long pattern that she has it written for. Like, this is not a cropped version type of tee. I think it's like 11 inches and then you do ribbing. I might not do quite that long. I might do more like 10 and a half or 10 3/4 and then do ribbing. But I did do my neckband, and so before, that's why I did it, because I was knitting a little bit, then I did the neck. And I was actually kind of concerned that I would run out of yarn. So I pulled all the rest of the skeins out, and I have 4 left. So I'm going to be totally fine. Even if I only get in body with 150 gram skein, like just under 3 inches. But I was like, I still have, let's see, if I have about a hand span, so like maybe 5-ish inches done on the body, and I need just about that left, I'll need 2 more skeins, and I'm connected to most of one on the body plus ribbing. So 3 of those 4.5 I have left. And then 1.5 for sleeves. These sleeves aren't very long, so I'm okay. I think I'm okay with that. So I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to finish the ball I'm on. This will give me like 6.5 inches of body, which is a pretty good amount. I really am going to steam block this. I think wet blocking this is going to make more of a difference, but I'm going to steam block it so I can block out this part here, most specifically where the ribbing is, and get the armbands to lay super flat. They're pretty flat right now. Then I'm going to pick up sleeves. And like I said before, I have a little bit more of an arm circumference because I made the front and back go a little bit longer than the pattern says. So I'm going to just do a rate of pickup that I like, which she has written in a good rate of pickup. So I'm going to do the rate of pickup that I want to do. And then I will, with the steam block, see how the drop is. And if it's not very dropped, I'm going to just put in some short rows, probably not a ton. I think the sleeve, how she has it written is like, this is looser than the ripple crop top. But for me, that with just the rib sleeves, that without too much of a drop, just like pull the whole thing like up a little bit and pull the neckline out a little bit more. Like the sleeve goes up and like kind of does a weird flutter thing. These are gonna be looser sleeves, so that'll help. We'll just sort of see. Then it's more important that I do a seam block to see if I get a drop before I decide on sleeves. Because as it sits right now, it's not much of a drop. It just goes, I mean, you can kind of see, like it sits like just like this, like a little bit over my shoulder. I don't want it to be dramatically dropped, but if it goes even a little bit further than that, then I think the sleeves as written might be okay. So here we are. The Kaarina tee by Sorry Nordland. Sorry if I don't know if I said that. Who's Sorry N on Instagram. This is a size 4, which is 51.5 inches. Recommended ease is 10 to 12. I'm not doing quite that much. This is, I mean, this is like 5. And I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. I did use, I think, a 3 millimeter on, yeah, I think I used a 3 millimeter on the ribbing for the neckline. And it's just a 2x2, and then I did a twisted tubular bind off. What I will say is I was watching Ariel's podcast, and she said that instead of doing the left leaning like swapped stitches for a, when you rearrange your 2x2 ribbing for binding off, she thought that the right looks a little bit better for her. So I was like, I'm gonna try it and see how I like it. I think it maybe does looks like it keeps them together a little bit more. You can still see that it exists, that there's like a stitch here that moves over. There you go. You can still see that it moves over a little, but I don't know. I can't tell if that's like very different from other ones I've done. It's fine. I'll probably do the same for all of them so that they're just like consistent this time. But like, yeah, I'm not sure if I could really tell, but it looks good. So I'll go with that. And this is Berroco Fuji yarn. It's a discontinued yarn. It's a really fun, you know, tweedy, slubby kind of silk, cotton, rayon, and nylon mix. It's a DK weight. And this is like a bluey gray yarn. I was really hesitant. I had this yarn. I knew I had paired this pattern with it for like a long time ago. And then right before I started, I was like, am I going to hate that? Like, is it going to feel weird? Is it going to look weird in this cable-y thing? But I think that it like looks pretty good. I think you can see it. I think the color is nice that you can see it from pretty far away. Like the cables really stand out, and the cables up close, like they still stand up to the color and like the texture of the yarn. So great way to use some yarn that's been in stash for quite a while. Let's go to my next whip, which is my Scorned Sweater. I am surprised I got anything done on this week, actually. Not that I was not trying to get stuff done on it, but I had put it down for like over a week, just because I was focusing on another whip or two. And I picked this up just the other night. And I was knitting it while I was, gosh, I don't even know. Oh, I think I brought this to knit night, and I decided I really wanted to get through the yoke, as we like to just get through the yoke. I loved knitting this. I think that the yoke was really fun. I made one little boo-boo. So I have one extra row in this one, but I was at knit night, and the way I read the instructions, I just wasn't paying attention. The last set of increases, you're doing sort of raglan increases. And you had to do one with a knit row, and then I was supposed to do like 16 rows with no knit row in between, just straight increases the whole time. I did 2 sets of the increase knit, and then I did, 15 more of that. So I have one extra row in here, but I didn't want to rip out a whole row. It was a lot of stitches at that point, and I was like, that's not going to make enough of a difference for me to care. Then I had a couple more increase rows because this is more fitted to the upper bust. She does a couple more increase rows right after, and also it's not a super deep raglan, so she does a couple more increase rows here because your full bust is really like, still growing typically where your armpit line is. You could still put a couple extra, get to your full bust, and then you could decrease those out. she puts instructions for at like 3 inches, which is below where I am right now, so I haven't gotten there yet, where you could do these bust shaping. I don't want to do bust shaping on this one because of the stripes. If I was doing a fade, I'd probably be more likely to do it. You can do some bust shaping with stripes, but it is a thing. It's an apparent mod, and I just don't think I'm gonna need it. I don't think I'll do any waist shaping though. I think I'll just leave it straight after this. It's so cute. Now that you can finally see stripes go striping, I don't have a last week's stitch marker on here, but it was not like super far. I had joined the body, but then I was maybe like here-ish. So I added a good amount of stripes. It's so potato chippy. I love striped things. It's like so fun to be like, well, let me just do 4 more rows because I'm almost at the stripe. So anyway, now that I'm done my full bust increases, I'm just knitting in the round. So I actually like stopped once I got there, and then I just haven't picked it up again in 2 days because I felt like I got a good place, and then I was like gonna just commit to those socks for the last 2 days. I didn't. I knit other things too, but I did knit a lot of those socks in the last couple days. So I'm really loving how this is turning out. It's really fun. This is like pretty dramatic stripes. I don't really have many other striped sweaters. I have a couple striped tees, and so this will be really fun to add into the wardrobe. You can see how nice that sleeve is now that I split for sleeve. Like, look at all that set in sleeve. It's so cute. I did wind 2 more skeins of this because I had only wound the first of each of these skeins when I first got ready for this. And so I have quite a lot left. I feel like it's the yardage on this is really doing stuff for me. So, I mean, obviously this is 2 skeins of yarn, so I should get through a lot of the body before I need to move on, but I got the other 2 ready because I would like to do sleeves soonish. So I'll probably add 3 more stripes and then I'll start doing sleeves so that I can try it on when the sleeves are 3/4-ish and make sure I actually like the length before I stop. I typically like the length that Claire writes into her patterns for sleeves, but you know, it's just a thing just to be able to check them. As a reminder for information, this is also a size 5. It's a 46-inch bust. The recommended ease is 2 to 6 inches. This is, I think, 44 1/4 or 44 1/2 at the upper bust, which is closer to that ease in my upper bust, which is also how she says you could select sizing. It depends on the difference between your upper and full bust. I am using 4mm needles. I've not done the neck band or anything yet. I am going to do the neck band in my darker color though, just because that's what I would prefer to have close to my face. And so I could do that mid-strip. I'll probably do that next. That's what I normally do. So I'll probably do that next, do some stripes, do the neckband, then pick up sleeves. So maybe by next week I'll have a couple of those things done. I'll have maybe 1 sleeve started. Who knows? I'm not in a super rush for this. It's not due till November. But I do want to get this test off my needles because I do have it's test knitting has picked back up for me, y'all, so we can talk about that. This is one. I am not going to test all of the Claire released her test schedule into her Discord, so if you're interested in testing for Claire, I would definitely say go join her Discord because that's where she does the calls first, and then she'll put them on Instagram if there are any sizes or ones that still need to be added to. Sometimes she fully closes them just in the Discord because there's a lot of sizes in there. She's got socks coming up. She's got other sweaters. She has this sweater called the Polar Latitudes, which I have been craving and waiting for so long. I may not join that test though, because I have a lot of other things coming up. And I might just wait till that one comes out. It really depends on how much FOMO I'm feeling at the moment and where all my tests are. So this one, not due till November, but I would really like it to be done the first couple weeks or days of October. Then, and the yarn for that is both Little Fiber Co. in 2 different bases. One is her old, no longer available, woolen DK, woolen merino DK, which was, I think, Oopsies, or it's a one-of-a-kind color. Prototypes or something from her cookware collection. I think that's what that's from. And then I have 2 skeins of this darker color, which is it's not attached to anything right now. This is her woolen Corriedale DK, which is more of a sport weight yardage, but it's DK weight, knitting up DK weight, and can bloom so beautiful. This is from her Cinderella collection, which I featured the other week. So, yeah, and I love this color. It's so, so nice. Okay, let's go on to another one, which is sort of a flash up here, not giving you tons and tons. I really didn't change the bag for this yet, y'all. I just, you know, sometimes things just stay where they are. I have 30 of these done. You're going to just have to trust me because I'm not going to pull them all out separately. But these are all my flowers. It's coming along nicely. I have mostly pentagons left and like one hexagon. So I have half or so of the centers made. I don't always do that, but like because that's the only end I weave in, sometimes I just make a batch of them, weave in the end so I know that they're done, and then I can just pick up whichever one I need. So yeah, that's where I am. I have just a few left and then I'll start putting it together. I'll finish all of the flowers. Hopefully this is for the Happypotamus. Sorry, by Heidi Bears. I will hopefully finish all of the flowers by next week. I need 44. I have 30 done. It's very likely I'll be able to get those done. Especially because I think I have one octagon, one hexagon, and then all the rest are pentagons. I just need, yeah, to get those done. Then I will not start actually putting them together until the week after that. I don't need this done until the end of October. Definitely want to get this done before Theo's birthday. I don't want it to just like wait on it, but you know, chunks of things also. So my hands don't crochet as much. My hands get a little bit more tired. Doing the join as you go also is just like a concentration thing. So I'm going to pencil a day in where I know, like a Sunday evening, where I know I'm going to sit and I'm just going to put together a majority of the butt so I can show you that and then put the rest of it together after that episode and stuff it and stuff, and then I'll show you the finished one. So yeah, there's really only one size for that. I'm using a 2mm hook, which is what's recommended in the pattern. And I am using all Schachmeyer Baby Bravo yarn, which is acrylic yarn, and the white, and then what we'll be joining at the black yarn is Hobby Lobby No Pill DK. So, or it's a DK, but it's like a fingering weight. I don't know. It's weird yarn. And then let's go to the thing that got the most attention this week for sure. And got the most attention and none yesterday. So I did this all in like 5 days, but also, I mean, I got a lot of other knitting done. I got a lot of this done really fast. And then this has been my desk knit. So I didn't do any yesterday because I had meetings I was participating in and doing different things, running the screens and stuff. So I didn't really have time to knit. This is where I was last week. This is my Wool and Pine test knit. I don't even think I said out loud the name of the test knit last week. This is the Alchemist Pullover. This is the companion to the Alchemist Slipover, which they put out last year, which is a vest that has like open sides with ties. It's very cute. It's on my list eventually to make because I was like, I don't know if I like that style. And I don't know, honestly, if I would wear that style as much, but I'm definitely open to making it once to see if I like that, because like the tie side thing, like a lot of people have patterns like that. And I really like the depth and the way that this V neck looks. This is different construction because I think that's just like a regular, you do the back panel and then you pick up the fronts. This is a contiguous construction, just like the Scorned Sweater is. This has a much wider shoulder panel. You can see it here kind of. It's clearer on this one just because of the color changes and stuff, and also because it's so small. This is really your whole I'll show you. This is going to sit like my whole shoulder. The panel. The Claire one will sit just on the top of my shoulder, right? So it's, I mean, totally still works as a contiguous design, just very different. I've also done contiguous designs like the Avenue Tee, and the Avenue Tee has a really skinny you know, saddle-y thing that you're creating while you're making it. So anyway, last week I was just like one increase out from like into my sleeve increases. And now I am split for sleeves and I have so much body. I have more body even than the Scorned Sweater. This was just a feat of perseverance. It's a long V-neck. I mean, you're really doing that V almost until you join for the body, or maybe until you join for the body. Honestly, it could have, I don't remember. Gosh, I don't remember. I just did this. It's either one row, like one increase before, or it happens at the same time that you join body, you also join the V-neck. And so it was a lot. It's a lot. And it feels like it will be, quite a deep V until you get that ribbing in. And there are 14 rows of ribbing, so I'm not worried about this at all being like too deep. It will go in significantly. This will be a modest V, but it won't also be really high up, so that's kind of nice. I'm really excited to get that collar on. I think that's gonna just look really nice. I probably have 3.5 inches done on the body or so. So I feel like I'm at a good place. This is a shorter test knit. I only have 6 weeks to get this done. A week and a half of which is gone. That's not that bad. So I think I'm gonna be fine. I need to post something. I don't have anything in the Discord yet for this, but I'm just like, this tweed is, I'm really loving the color. The color of this is really, really great. It's very cool. It's very cool, bluey gray. Like has some variegation. The tweed is really fun on it. I mean, this is everything. Like, I'm really excited to have this. So I'm really close to being done the second skein too. This is how much I have left of my second skein. So I will finish the skein. Once I'm done this skein, I'm going to do the neckline. So 2 collars this weekend, which honestly, I love to do collars early, but partly because I find it to be a bit of a trial. This and Claire's are very clear instructions. This many along the back, this many. I actually think this Woolen Pine one is a little bit more, they give you a ratio potentially, but you're maybe supposed to pick up all across the back neck. There was definitely somebody who's already done the neckband and said that it was maybe too many stitches, so she redid it. And I definitely don't want this to feel too wide because I do want to be able to wear it to work. So I'm going to pay particular attention to like her note and make sure things are lined up correctly to be able to have a really beautiful neckband the first time, because I don't want to do it again. V-neck neckbands in particular, they're like take a lot longer than you think, especially with like 14 rows. I don't know why. Like 14 rows is not that many rows, y'all, and it's not as many as like any part of the, you know, increases, but yeah. And I think this is also a 2x2 potentially. Yeah, I think it's set up as a 2x2, which I love the look of, but I also don't love knitting 2x2 rib as much. So some very small complaints. In the long run, I am absolutely going to get this neckband done this week. Finish this ball of yarn that I'm on, which will be just like probably 2 more rows. And then I will probably reconnect back to the body, actually. Give myself till like 6, because I've been finding that is a more reliable way when you try it on. It's not like right at your bust, because I don't think that that's enough distance for you to tell how it's really fitting. And so do like fully 6 inches, then I'll start sleeves. Also then, if you're only going back to like 2 to 3 inches of body before you do ribbing, seems also like that's like feels more like conquerable in your mind. I might even go a little bit longer, who knows? Like I think getting sleeves done is important, but like that is not going to take me that long to do. I mean, you say that, and then sleeves always take way longer than you think, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited I'm like, to wear this one, I think is going to be like so good. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna wear this all fall long. So when do I want to get this one done though? I think that the test is due mid-October. I need to go back and look at the date, but I do want to get this done probably in the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna prioritize this again next week, but I really think I'll be okay neckband, several more inches in the body, and start the sleeves all this weekend. Just gonna make this also my editing project. This is a great way to do it. Probably won't do the neckband during editing, but maybe I'll add that body length and that'll be good. So here we are. The Alchemist Pullover. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. It's gonna be so. Oh, and just a reminder for sizing for that one, I picked a size 5, which is a 48-inch bust. The recommended ease on this is 4 to 8 inches, which is a little bit more, like I think Claire's I said was 2 to 6, right? So it's airing on, same kind of construction, slightly more ease. I do not want that much ease. I don't think for the contiguous design, the more droppy look, like having it more oversized, is good for my body. I won't say that in general, because people are going to wear what they want to wear and you are comfortable with what you're comfortable with. But for me, slightly less ease is more comfortable. I'm not going to do any more bust increases in this one to give more ease at the full bust because I just don't feel like I need it. With how things fit and where my full bust is, I just feel like they tend to look a little bit bigger than they are inches wise anyway on me. So that's fine. I am using 4.5mm needles, which is what's recommended in the pattern. I'm good on gauge, and I am using back loop yarn, who's no longer dying, Tweed DK, which is like a 85% superwash merino and 15% Neps, Donegal Neps, 231 yards for 100 grams in the color Slate. I love this color. I literally love this color so much. I think last week you just couldn't tell how amazing it's going to be. It's going to be so, so good. Okay, so let's go on to the thing I wanted to give more attention to this week, and I don't know. I could not. I think I just got excited about that now, which is okay because I cast these on at roughly the same time, and I don't want all my projects to be at exactly the same place all the time because sometimes you need to go back and forth and have something that's plain and easy, something that's got a little more thinking, you know, whatever. So honestly, I added 2.5 stripes. That's it. But now you can see, this is my Elton Pullover by Joji Locatelli for the Joji knit along. So I do have to get cracking on this too. I'll be done for sure before the knit along, but you can now see my mohair rows. I really wonder once you're done if you're just not really gonna be able to tell that much further away. You can tell close up because it has a different shine. It has obviously the halo, and it does look more open. So like, I think in person you can tell. I think on camera you may not be able to tell very much. Maybe while I'm wearing it you'll be able to tell a little bit more. Anyway, I'll do more stripes and we'll see. I would really like to get the back panel done this week. That's like, it's a lot of flat knitting. It's like, yeah, it's a lot. It's quite a few inches I have to get done, but the stripes do make it a little bit nicer to knit. So I just need to get cracking. I have fully, after the top part, which is where your short rows and things are, I fully have 3 stripes. So I probably have to add like 10 more at least. So I mean, it's fine. I will get it done. I have a Discord chat open. I know Joji does have the Ravelry group that you can chat into. That's not really the forum I love to chat in. And so just for anybody in my Discord, or anybody who watches, anybody who wants to just have like a more informal, kind of less people chat, post your pictures there, you know, ask questions, do whatever. We've got some people who have small projects who are already like done or working through a list of them. And then we've got I know there's at least one person, she's doing the tea version, I think, of the Elton, and she's already got part of her front panel. Anyway, it's looking really good. And so I'm like, okay, using this as the encouragement, I'm like, Jennifer is doing great. I need to also do great. So it's good. It's one of the great things I like about Buddy Knits is that it's not even like peer pressure because obviously she's not judging me whether or not I have as much done as her in the pattern, but it is sort of like encouragement. Just like Emily asked us to knit the crosshatch with her, sometimes you just need the encouragement of your friends to keep that whip front of mind. So that's what it's happening right now. I'm really liking the colors on this. This is Lamb Good Fibers, it's like the house yarn for Knotty Lamb in Oregon, in Portland, outside of Portland. And this is, I'm gonna need a flock of this is the color. It's the flock color from the first year of flock. They didn't come to the last 2 years of flock, which there's a lot of shows in and around Portland, and we're not that far, so maybe she just felt like the market was a little saturated. But I'm love this color. It's really fun, and it's fun to knit because those colors are, they change so quickly, so like every stitch is kind of interesting, which is good. Yeah. Okay, I don't actually have a new cast on, but I did pick out yarn, so I have another test knit that I'm going to start, which is just a cowl, and I'm doing a kid size one. It's youth, there's only 3 sizes, but I am going to make one for Theo, which is going to use some hand spun, and I'm not going to show you the yarns I picked out because it's a wild color combination and you guys are just gonna have to wait for it. So let's talk about spin updates. I have 3 plied yarns, 1 yard mid ply, and that's just the second half of what I'll show you third. And then I did finish my Casey colorway, and I now I also have I just wanted to get stuff plied. So I stopped mid bobbin on my Marlene knit. So this is all colors from the Podcaster collection. I will take a picture of them before I ply them together, but I'm probably going to ply them next week. So you won't see them before that, but we've got this very mid-level-y green is like how a lot of this color looks. There's a little bit of more teals in here. There's some purple in here. There's some lighter patches too, but I would say overall, it does really look this color. And then we've got Ariel's color, which is much more yellowy gold and a little bit of green looking. And then Marlene's, which I think is leaning more, actually, like it looks more dark blue and brown. So I'm really excited to get the 3 of those plied together. I really don't know what it's going to look like. I'm hoping it leans more kind of towards the Casey colorway, this greenish thing. Anyway, I'm trying to ply these together, see what weight I get, and I'm hoping I can make a traveler shawl. You can really make a traveler shawl any weight, so it should be fine. I just may have to make the smaller size because I don't know how much yardage I'm gonna get. So I'll ply these next week. Hopefully I'll ply them Saturday, really, Saturday or Sunday. Then I will, it might take me 2 days because it's quite a lot of yarn. And then I will wash them, dry them, and I maybe even will cake them up so I know what the yardage is. This is possible. I don't know. But if I cake them, then you can't see them, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do that secondary so you can see it first. Honestly, that feels very ambitious. Okay, let's talk through what I did ply though. First, actually I did this one first, but it's not dry yet because it's a bigger skein. This is actually all of the yarn. I mean, I have a little bit of extras left over, but this is all of I have like a little bit of extra of one of the skeins, but this is pretty much all of the Falling Leaves color from Backloop Yarn and Fiber. I have not a lot of Backloop left over. I think just these 3, and then I'm through all the fiber I had purchased from her over the years, which is kind of sad, but like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. I have 3, those are merino. I might do them in sort of combos, but anyway, this is Falling Leaves. I had 2, this is 100% Polworth. I had 2 braids of this that were, I think, 3.5 ounces each. And so they might have been 4. I think they were 3.5 ounces each. I think they were 100 grams. Anyway, I, didn't weigh it yet because it's still wet, but I will weigh it after and see what I got here. This is looking very DK-ish to me. Let's let you see a little bit of it. It's such a fun fall color. Wow. Those colors are quite fun. Very, very fall. I think I'll probably make a, like a Simple Thing shawl or something like that. This is the thought I had when I did this. This is not a very me color, but I do have a red coat and I also have a yellow coat, which I know you've heard me say I won't knit with yellow. This is the only kind of yellow that I think I like look good in it. Anyway, raincoats, because I know the kind of coats we wear around here. The shawl that I did make, I made a Sophie shawl with my first ever handspun. My first ever handspun thing was a Sophie shawl. It's a rambouillet. It's super soft. It's a very light, not even gray, like lightish purple with some gold in it color called Lavender Latte, maybe is what it was called. It's really beautiful. I don't grab it that often because I just don't love the color. So I might gift that one to a friend, to a family member, to somebody, and make another one for myself. And I'll use a Simple Thing shawl pattern, or, you know, which is very Sophie shawl adjacent, but free. And also has a little bit more, like a slightly different starting shape, whatever, all the same. And yeah. So something with this. This is not dry. This is probably only like, it's like 60% dry. I mean, it feels pretty dry. And then you squeeze it and you're like, oh no, that's damp. And then here is the other one that did get washed also. And this one is 85%, maybe 90% dry. It feels pretty dry. I'll leave it out still today, and I probably won't really skein it up for you much, but I can stretch it a little so you can see what it looks like. This is the Hello Lavender spin. that I had just one skein of, or that I had just one braid of on her Falkland base, in Tropical Sunset, I think is the color. And I really enjoyed this colorway, but I didn't like it. I was going to maybe pair it with the Mums of Word or Neapolitan or do a 3-ply. And I just thought with it pulled much more pink than those other two colors did. And while that would have probably made a pretty combo spin, I didn't really want that for the vibe of the spin of like the end yarn. So I actually just chain plied this. And also I really wanted to do a chain ply on my auto winder. I have a video of it, which I will be posting. That is a game changer. I didn't love chain plying because to me, when you change your flyer little holder thing, you have to stop quite frequently to do that when you're plying. Chain plying specifically, not only for holding the yarn and stuff, but just getting in the groove, to me is not super intuitive. I'm pretty good at chain plying now. Like it was really hard when I first started, even though I know how to crochet. I was like, what are my hands doing? And also keeping tension and getting it to roll up. Anyway, so I got to chain ply this with the auto winder and just go. No stopping. I mean, I stopped probably like once in the middle, and then I picked this up and did it again because plying just takes forever. But I really just got to go, and it was so much more enjoyable to me. So that was like definitely felt like more of a game changer even than regular plying. So really enjoyed that. So this is all done on my auto winder. It looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of pigtails in it, but what are you gonna do? Or like I've slightly overspun bits. I mean, honestly, I know I could pull it back through and unspin it a little bit, but I'm not gonna do that. I think it'll knit up just fine. I don't know what I would use this for, but this probably be a pretty fun hat or contrasting color for something. It's got quite a rounded ply, so yeah. I have no plans for it right now, which is fine. I will figure that out later. And then this one is not washed, so you can kind of see this looks, and this is not very balanced. This is an okay spin. Once you wash it, you can get some of that crimp out of it. But this, I just pulled off the Nitty Knotty, and I have another two. I still have more yarn on the bobbin. This was 2 4-ounce braids, and so this was a full bobbin. I won't have as big of skeins for the second one, and I'll definitely have more of one than the other. And so I'll get those winded onto my monster balls, my monster. I'm just putting all my leftovers together this year, and then at the end of the year, I'm going to apply it together, and it's going to be nuts. Doesn't matter the weight, they're all just going together. But yeah, so this is the Mum's the Word, and which was the Polypay. And then the Neapolitan, which was merino, I think. And so, I mean, those are like very close cousin yarns. And so you can kind of see the colors on this. It's a very purpley, browny, yellow gold kind of moment. And I really like it. I'm going to have kind of a lot of yardage of this, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this one either. This I think will wash out to be a good like lighter DK weight. And so these are all pretty much DK spins, which is good. This is something I wanted a little bit of in my store of hand spun yarn here. Okay, now let's go on to my book snake. This is technically a whip, but also it's my book time because now we're all caught up, so I only have to show it to you at book time. I still didn't go to Michael's. Don't worry about it. So this, I'm gonna need to like roll this down and stuff this quite a lot. Here is where we were last week. And so let's go through the books for this week. I finished 5 books. This will be an easy way for me to tell math-wise also where the heck I was this week. So the first book I finished all of these were, yeah, all of these were audiobooks this week. I am working on one of Eden's books. I'm really close to being done, actually. The book about Jasper and Eloise, which is I'm really loving actually. Okay, but so let's do this. So I did the Wells Ranch series, book 3, called Change of Heart. That's this color here. And I went with actually this bluey, almost purpley look, I think is like close to the outside like cover things, not quite like the words of it, and a little bit more like the flower color, which I think are supposed to be Forget-Me-Nots. This is the Second Chance Romance, the only one in the series. Yeah. This one is like high school sweethearts separated for 12-ish years for an actually pretty good, like sort of tragic timing reason, not so much like because they were necessarily awful to each other or just like some stupid miscommunication. This was like they needed to grow up a little bit. And it was okay that they did it separately. Still pining for each other, you know, some other things they had to get over during this, but I liked their story. Okay. And that's also, those are by Hannah Bailey, and this is my first series by Hannah Bailey, and they are like Canadian cowboy romances. And you know, I love both of those things. I love them together the most. So I recommend reading them. This is, oh yeah. Okay. So this book is The Female. Here. This is The Female by what's her name? Invi Wright. Okay. It's my first book by Invi Wright. This is a paranormal romance, dark dystopic paranormal romance. I don't know. Modern day, but and I don't quite know on the background of this if like we always knew there were shifters and vampires and demons and other kinds of creatures out there. Succubus, incubus, like there's all these creatures. I don't know. But the whole premise of the story is that there's a shortage of females. This book is called The Female. And you start with a female who's been hidden. People have to give their female children in all the races, but especially humans, to essentially like female centers where they're raised to be like docile breeders and then sold when they become of age and then bred, theoretically, hopefully. They keep producing males though. And the females, there's been like a great shortage. There hasn't been any found in years, I guess. And then there's suddenly some raids and there's a female in hiding who this book is about, who becomes found, okay, and then sold into an interesting situation, which is not necessarily the breeding situation that other females face. And she's sold to 3 demons, an incubus, a fate, and a wrath. I don't want to tell you any more about it. It was a really interesting read. The premise is interesting. The emotions are stunted at best. Strange also. It's a very interesting premise. There are more in the series. I'm on hold for the next one, and so I will continue reading it because I'm interested. You leave on a cliffhanger for sure. And I feel like the female has like a little bit Stockholm syndrome. So, you know, don't love all of the premise of this, but I do think that she's in a situation in which these males are genuinely trying to like learn about her and potentially win her affections, or at least some of them are. So it's interesting. And then this one, I loved this book. This is a little bit thicker of a stripe and will just be that way in the body, like, you know, some of our other ones are. This is some hand spun from my Barbie core yarn and a little bit of blue because I wanted some of the lake effects in the back of this one. This is Rich Girl Summer by Lily Chu. This is the newest Lily Chu book. I've read all of her books. If you haven't read them, I highly recommend. She writes about half Asian female leads in Canada. That is like her niche. Being a half Asian female, this is an interesting thing to read about. They're always half Chinese though, and I am half Korean, but it's an interesting niche to read about when you can relate a little bit more. And it's just, yeah, they're like great books. I think they're romantic comedy type books. I think she also writes about like relevant other issues typically, and she sometimes a little tongue-in-cheek but with feelings. So I just really enjoy her books a lot. I really don't want to give too much away about this book, about like what the premise is, but basically the main character just gets into a precarious professional situation that then makes her rethink her career choice, and she gets offered kind of a summer reprieve pretending to be somebody's long lost daughter. And it is interesting. It was an interesting premise. It's really actually like very heartbreaking. Parts of this are very heartbreaking to me. I thought that the romance felt very like organic, and also like it's just like something that would happen where you just, yeah, I just really loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great. Okay. Then we've got The Love Haters, which is another new book. This one is by Katherine Center. This one is about an aspiring documentarian who actually just works for like a film production company, and they do like corporate-y type films mostly. But she gets sucked into a project to film a recruitment video for the Coast Guard. And then she gets sent to the Florida Keys, and she, I think Katherine Center says there's no base in the Florida Keys, but there's one in Miami. But it was just like how to get the story to kind of happen in a small town, like in a kind of idyllic, small situation, etc. The part of the story goes a place I didn't think it was going to go. I really enjoyed it. I have mostly liked all of the books I've read from her. I think she has some good banter, some really great, like, not super in your face, huge growth arcs for characters, but like the kind that feel like that's more realistic, where you like someone opens up, someone, just whatever. They like learn something new about themselves. And this is, I mean, you should read it and then listen to the end, because in her acknowledgments, she writes a little bit about why she writes, and I just really enjoy her books. So that's The Love Haters by Katherine Center. So this week, I think really good books. Like, this series, great. This one, really interesting and strange. So we'll see how the rest of the series goes, but I'm still saying worth it for now. Lily Chu, great. Katherine Center, great. And then I started the Lady of Darkness series by Melissa Roehrich, and this is the first book called Lady of Darkness. I am very intrigued by this series. Here we go. This is like a romantasy book that is about an assassin. We like girl assassins who went through some trauma that you don't learn about until pretty late in the book. There's a lot of hints about what it's about, but you don't know all of the pieces because she has not talked about it in a year, and then finally does. And so she's an assassin who's living as a lady right now, sort of under secrecy, sort of not under secrecy, and she meets a new general in the army who trains special forces, who she wants to train with. Everybody has secrets. Most of them come to light in a way that makes sense. Some of them, this happens. It's a device in writing. It's not a device I really love, but there is a little bit of I almost told them some truth, and then somebody walked in the door. And I'm like, listen, that could happen. But then you spend 2 days together after that, and you still didn't tell them because like the moment passed? I don't think so. If it felt important enough for you to tell them, you would just tell them. These are big secrets though, and these are secrets that they know are going to kind of like alter the relationship, the things that are growing. So they lie by omission mostly. It's something I don't love. And I think since so many of these secrets came to light, maybe the next book will be probably rife with a lot of angst about them, but maybe less secret keeping. I don't know which I like better, to be honest. I don't love the angst. I can see it coming. We will see. There's a lot of also, you know, let me explain, and no, I'm not going to listen to you. You know, that kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I liked it enough to continue. So I have the second one on hold, but it's been on hold for like 2 months now, I think, at the library. So we'll see when I get back to it, what I can remember about what's going on. So here we are. The books for this week and my book snake. Okay, now that all the colors are out, I would love to talk about Reshma's India collection. So Hello Lavender, I think this is her biggest collection to date. She's only done a couple other ones for pre-order, one that was like mostly just fiber, one or two that were mostly just fiber, and she had like a wildflower one or whatever earlier this year in the spring. If you don't know who Hello Lavender is, you'll have heard me talk about her stitch markers. In fact, this one, this beautiful little book with flower on it, that's on my book snake, is one of my first that I ever bought from Reshma. She is a absolutely lovely human also, and I've gotten the pleasure to meet her several times at different yarn events, and her husband Mike, who's also great. But so she is doing an India collection. These not only are gorgeous colors, but there's some educational elements. If you don't if you don't know a lot of what these things are, she's got a whole like what's the importance to Indian culture in her posts, and she's got accompanying stitch markers, which I just like. I love when she does this for other people's collections, but it's so special for her own. And she's also, and earrings, stitch markers and earrings. But she's also got like pictures of herself and how they're relating to like her past. I think this is a really special collection. I think it's a really great way for her to like go big and like and put herself out there for something that matters to her. You can tell that she loves all of these colors and the inspirations for them. So it's really cool. She's like included even like, they have a couple of these are stamped stitch markers or earrings that are with them. And the stamped ones, she even has like a video of how Mike did the 3D printer of it. He did the design for it and then her like using it the first time. So that was really fun. I watched that video the other day. Now that she just posted yesterday the fiber for all of this too, and she's got 3 fiber offerings. So here's what I'll do. I think samples are coming this week. This collection launches on Sunday. So if you're watching this, I don't know that it'll sell out on Sunday, but like probably be open for at least a week. So if you're watching this and you want to grab any of these, please go look at her website. I'll link it below too, but I'm going to just put up a little screenshot of the mass of them, like just from Instagram. And I will put up, so here, that's here now, right? And this is really, these colors are so lovely. They're really fun. And now I'm going to just point out a couple that I really like. I don't know what I'm going to buy. I don't have a plan yet. But Cricket, which is this brighter blue here. I'll put the picture up. That's Moor and Cricket, and that is Peacock and Cricket. I love the peacock color also, but I really love the tonals that she has this time around. No surprise here. The other one is this red Mirchi. I really love this one too. And her first post, which I love both of these colors. So Holy is the variegated in this one, and then Gulabi is the tonal. I've been in a pink moment where I really love these super vibrant pinks. That may get me. I don't know what I want to make yet. I may make a striped something. I really want to get her silk sock base. So I think whatever I'll get, it'll either be 1 or 2 colors for something that's in her silk sock for a t-shirt for next year. I may also get like 1 skein of Holy because I just think it's such a special color. It's not that other people don't do speckled colors, but like just the specific colors, the tones, the way she picked it, it's just so special. And I might just get that to like make a hat or do something with it. I'm not sure, but I kind of want to get one of her woolen bases. So I think both her woolen sock and her woolen DK will be really great in Holy. It's a little less speckled, so I'm not sure. I really don't know. Honestly, the fluff of that is so special too. I just don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to even just make something for Theo in that. So like maybe I'll just get one sock skein and make her like socks or like a little tank top. That would be really cute. Who knows? Let me think about it. I'll sleep on it a couple more nights and then I'll make a decision. But I'm really excited for her to have this collection. It's really, really special. She has a whole couple posts of just stitch markers and earrings also. So I just encourage you to go look through them. And the other thing also are her bases for her fibers are really fun. She has a New Zealand Romney, which I think is more in like a pencil roving type situation. And then she's got a Rambouillet and BFL Tessa Silk, and all of those are really fun combos. I like a more blended silk, so I don't know that I'll do the silk on this one, though she does silk because silk is really important to the Indian culture and also like manufacturing and other things. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I feel so divided on many things here. I want it all, but I also want to probably be a little bit conservative with what I'm purchasing right now because I feel very flush. It's getting to the end of the year. I don't want to just amass a ton more yarn this year. So we'll see. But I'll definitely be buying something from this collection. So yeah. If you ever want to talk about what you are thinking about buying and you need inspiration or a hype girl or somebody to just convince you to do it, I'm also here for that. I love to hear shopping plans. We've got a whole couple of our friends both in the Bay Area and here have a non-helpful chat where we are just enabling each other to buy yarn purchases, but it is really fun to plan with other people, so that's what we use that for. So that's my little spotlight for this week. Otherwise, we have a knit call happening on Sunday, the 14th. I'm not sure what time of day this collection launches, but you know, again, I don't know that it'll sell out in the first day. Just I think people are probably being a little bit more conservative with buying and things right now. But I do hope she does really well, and I hope she sells out and like hits her capacity. But I hope it doesn't happen in an hour because I will be going out to dinner. It is my wedding anniversary this weekend. Also the day we're doing our knit call. But that's just how timing worked out. So we are doing 1 p.m. Pacific, that's 4 Eastern, on Sunday. So hopefully you can join. It's just in the Discord. I will post an event in there, and so you can just join from there, and it'll like remind you if you say like that you're interested, or just show up to the Discord. I'll put out like a 30-minute reminder, etc., so people show up. This is generally a super chill, no agenda, just a little Zoom call with friends to talk about what you're knitting, bring your knitting, work on your knitting, share recent things, share what you're working on now. We're just going to go through maybe some plans and stuff. And I will likely either have just cast on or just be working on winding up my balls for my unspun knit along. This is not the unspun knit along kickoff, but I am going to start that I think on Monday or on Sunday. So I will have that started and I've decided I'm going to start with the seasons because it's what I want to knit right now. So seasons cardigan. I'm also right now not doing any Make 9 projects, not even for the hippo. That's my gift Make 9. But I have nothing else on my needle. So I am going to cast on something for Theo. I have my last Theo garment project this year that I'm getting ready to cast on. And then I also have one of my cardigans. I have 2 cardigans left for my Make 9. And so I think I have 2 skeins wound up for this, and I will be casting on my Mila cardigan by Nordland also in the very near future. I have a lot of projects on my needles right now. This is tests. It's because of tests. I have yarn coming for a test that I will show you next week. And I have the Toriu test too. So that'll be 4 tests potentially on my needles all at the same time. 3 for sure on my needles all at the same time. Hopefully this cal goes very, very quickly and then I don't have to worry about that. I'm hoping to get the Alchemist done also very quickly. And then the Scorned, hopefully just because it's stripes and I'm going to be like loving working on it, I will also get that done relatively soon. So I will get those off my needles. I'll work and focus on the one that is coming and then get back to my Make 9. So, I mean, it's September, so I'm in a good place for my Make 9 for sure. At the end of this quarter, we will do a review of where we are. So hopefully I'll have 1 or 2 more of the gift Make 9s done, being, I mean, that's only 3 weeks from now, but being Theo's hippo, and then maybe even the sweater for her, which I do want to cast on really soon, and it's a baby sweater, so it shouldn't take me that long. But yeah, doing spinning, doing all the fall things. I know people put out these like fall knitting plans. I feel like I talk about my knitting plans a lot with y'all, but also like my plans are in flux a lot, and I do have like goals and things for the year, and you know, like the Make 9 that I want to get done, but you guys have seen that a lot. So I don't know that I'm going to ever really do those kinds of roundup videos unless that sounds interesting. I would just be filming like a only my plans video, which I mean, I guess it would be fun if you want to see the pattern plus the yarn before I cast it on. You guys can let me know if that's interesting. I feel like a lot of people put those out, like some of the more popular podcasters. And I just like don't know if that's my vibe. I'm not sure. Oh yeah. I mean, I have a lot of content I put out for you guys. This is a pretty long video I do every week, and it's a lot of editing and other things, but I am happy if that's something that sounds interesting to do something more focused like that, or even do a segment inside of a regular podcast that actually tells you what my fall plans are. It was fun at Knit Night this past week. Emily and Katie and I did talk through some of our potential next year plans already, like goals, and also plans, and also end of year plans. So like really, what do we want to accomplish by the time 2025 closes out? I hope you had fun while I chatted with you today. Let me know what you were working on in the comments. I get such good inspiration from y'all. Also follow me on Ravelry if you're not. Follow me on Instagram if you're on that platform. If you ever have anything that you don't want to post, comments, questions, whatever, on the comments below, you can find me on Discord or Ravelry or on Instagram, and just send me a message. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me if you have fun fall plans. And I hope that you got some good crafting done while watching, that you get up and move your body, that you continue to do your wrist, arm, hand stretching, and I will see you next week. Bye!